All right, welcome back everybody. This is where the fun starts to happen. We are going to actually take the videos that we have and we're going to put them into the timeline and start manipulating those, and we're going to learn about some tools. We're going to learn about what skimming is and a couple different ways to import into the timeline our videos from this browser, and it's going to be pretty simple. This is not overly difficult. This is the first part in the editing process. This is where it starts to come to life. All right, so first thing is I'm going to show you one quick way to import the videos into the timeline. Pretty simple. I'm going to start with some A-roll here, and I'll just make sure that this is all highlighted here. Oh, as I'm skimming through here, let me do this. This is a really cool little trick that you can do on this new version of FCPX. I'm going to go over here to this right here, and it's to turn audio skimming on or off, and it's the sound for the audio. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off because it's really annoying when it just makes this as you're going through it. So I'm going to turn that off, and then now just nothing. Okay, I'll turn it back on, maybe later, but for right now it's super annoying. So this is completely highlighted yellow, and I can just grab it, hold on to it, and drag it, and then let go down here. If only part of it's selected, then I can do that, and I could choose these parts if I wanted to by simply dragging or kind of going through here and picking parts. And I'm going to show you another way to use that here in a minute, but for the most part we could just drag and drop these off. And what you can do is you can stack multiple of these on top of each other. Whatever's on top is what you're going to see, but if there's multiple audios, you're going to hear them all. So let me give you an example.
Anyway, so we're headed down there. We've got the truck completely loaded down. I don't know if you see those boxes back there, back seat.
All right, so as you can tell, that doesn't make much sense, and so you would definitely not want to stack those on top of each other. I will show you a good way to use that in a couple more videos, or another video. I'm not really sure. Later on, I'll show you how to stack things and what the purpose of that is. For right now, though, let's just use the single timeline in the middle, and we'll go with that. So I am putting in a video that way. Another way that I could do that, if I want to be a little more precise, is I could watch. I could turn the skimming back on very quickly. I could watch part of one of these videos here. So let me give you an example. I'm going to hit play. The spacebar will hit play.
All right, so today's moving day.
Okay, so I want to start at the very beginning of that. So I'm going to move this back. Again, you could always spread this out up here, and this is what a lot of people do. And we could kind of get a little longer. Okay, a little easier to get in there and get some tight net edit. Simply by just going here and clicking the timing. It doesn't actually change the time of your thing. It just shows it in a longer, easier to get a hold of line. So go back here. I'm going to hit the space bar again and hit for play. Okay, I'm going to cut that part out. So I'm going to put I. That's where I want it to start coming in right there. I don't want that little piece there in the front. So I'm going to hit I on the keyboard, the letter I. That's my. So it's going to go into that.
All right, so today's moving day. Taking Destiny to Austin for hopefully the last time.
All right, and so I just want that piece, and so when I got to the end of it, I pressed the letter O on the keyboard, and that just gave me that piece. So again, I hit I at the beginning and O at the end, and now I can just grab this part and drag this small piece down in there. So if I were to watch this.
All right, so today's moving day. Taking Destiny to Austin for hopefully the last time.
All right, and so that's all I wanted, and then I was going to go into some kind of cool, montage intro or something like that, which, is kind of the way you do things on vlogs. But either way, that just puts it in there. And so I could either just drag and drop the whole thing in there and like this, and I could cut it up, or I could choose my pieces there and put it in there. Now, once it's down here, I'm going to show you in a minute how to start cutting that up. But those are two easy options of getting your videos into the timeline so that you can start manipulating them. So if I decided that, this one was not long enough, I can always drag it back out grab the edge and drag it to make it longer, or grab the edge and make it shorter. That is one quick way of doing that. You hover over, you get this little double arrow or double arrowhead thing, and that's it. I can do the same from here. I can drag it back out to the beginning, or I can drag it in. It's just a hover and a click. It's very simple to do. So you're never stuck with it. What this non-linear editors do, they never actually get rid of your original file. You manipulate it, but it does not delete it or harm it in any way. And so that's an amazing thing about these non-linear editors like Final Cut. All right, so let's say that we are going to do it the old-fashioned way, and we're going to drag this whole thing down. Okay, and I want to do some cutting. Well, you're going to need to know a little bit about some tools. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and turn the skimming off because it's super annoying to me. All right, so now I can go through here without skimming. The tools are embedded right here, and if you look out to the side, and there's the letters that are over here on this side, if you hit those letters, those are the shortcut keys, and I use those pretty often. The main two tools that you need for what we're going to be doing first, and for like 90% of all editing, is honestly the blade tool for cutting, and then the select tool for selecting. Those are your two main ones, and so if you can figure those out, you're going to be doing really well very early. So I'm going to hit the letter B, and it's going to give me this really cool looking razor blade. And I'm going to go ahead, and I know that from the waveform alone, this is when I was talking, and this when I stopped, for what I want. I'm going to go ahead and just go in here, and I'm going to click the blade button, and then at the end right here, I'm going to click the blade button again. Okay, and so I don't want this part, and I don't want this part. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the letter A, and you can see here it turned back to my select tool. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to hit the delete button on the keyboard. Delete, delete. Now that doesn't get rid of it permanently. It's still here. I can always drag it back down, but now when I play...
All right, so today's moving day, taking Destiny to Austin for hopefully the last time.
I cut that a little short. I want to leave this a little longer, so I want to go to where I move the camera and I can see her. So I'm gonna try that again.
For the last time.
If I want to drag any other videos down, I can click on them and do the same thing. That one up along. I'm not really sure. I'm just gonna, for the sake of the video, I'm gonna cut a little thing here and there. Again, hit the B for blade, A for select, and I'm gonna do this so fast I'm gonna forget to say it because I've been doing this for a really long time. And then hit the delete button, and then.
I was only gonna eat that half of it. I think I'm gonna eat like the bite I just took, and I'm gonna call it a day.
Well, anyway, I was eating an awful sausage and biscuit, and it was from Quick Trip. I didn't enjoy it at all, and so I was just thought I would talk about it at the time. I was kind of bored waiting on her for an interview. Long story for another day. This is focused on editing today. Anyway, and so I can piece those pieces together. And so far, I'm really just putting things into the timeline, hitting the blade button and the select button, and that is honestly a lot of what editing is just picking the pieces that you want. So I'm going to look here. I like these being much smaller, so I'm going to put these back, and then I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go to this little video of us driving down the road, and I'm going to cut that off and delete that, and then I'm going to cut to right there, and I'm going to delete that. So now I decided I want to put that right here between these two, so I'm going to grab it. I'm going to click on it once. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to drag it over. I'm going to kind of nest it right in here. And then now I'm going to go from this.
For the last time.
All right. We're going to just jump into that. And later on, I will show you how to remove the sound and to put in a music or some kind of cool sound in that. So then we can jump to another piece. But so moving things around or simply just moving. Dropping them where you want them if you need to redo the timeline. And so you can cut all your little pieces and then maneuver those around later to put them in the correct order. There is another thing that you could do. There is a really cool tool here that is not currently on that is a time saver. It's this tool right here, and it's this snapping tool. Okay, and so say that I wanted to pull this video down and drop it into the timeline. I can drop it down and I can have it way over here and it just snaps into place. Now, if I were to turn that off and then I wanted to place this video in here, it's going to give me one of these things. Okay, I find this annoying unless I need one. It's just a blank spot because it's not going to snap it in there, and it needs something to connect to it. It can't just go from here to something to over here. So it can't go from here to here without something in between. So, and then if I delete this because I don't want it, it gets rid of the video as well. So I almost always leave my snapping tool on unless there's really a reason that I don't want it. Okay, so I really like this. It's handy. I just drop it down, pop it into place. So definitely enable the snapping tool when you're doing this. A little something I forgot to mention at the beginning. I do apologize.
I was only gonna need to have a.
So I'm gonna put this back over here. I'm gonna put this back over here, and then there we go. We have a bunch of pieces here to work with. And as I move my mouse across this, it just it skims it. You know how we turn off the skimming sound? Could hit that and not skim anymore. I've never found a good use for not skimming on that part, so I always leave this on because I want to skim the video. I want to skim the video here. I'm able to do so. I do understand why we don't have the audio skimming, because that could be overly annoying. Leave that on, and I mean, there's a reason to have it on. That's good. I'm glad they give you that option, but otherwise, not so much. All right, so that's the basics of putting in video, manipulating that into the timeline on just using one video line only, and let's check out that next video.